Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack a truly epic, honestly almost cinematic journey of an ordinary, small-town girl who managed to completely conquer the globe with nothing more than her guitar and a really big dream. We are, of course, talking about Taylor Swift. We're going to trace her steps from her childhood all the way to absolute global superstardom, breaking down exactly how she pulled it off. We'll look at the struggles, the milestones, and the underlying superpower that turned her into an absolute legend.
Okay, let's dive right into this foundational idea. There's this quote that says, in this world, some artists don't just make songs, they become the emotions of the people. And this is absolutely crucial to keep in mind throughout our entire journey today. You see, Taylor transcends the traditional definition of a pop star. For millions of fans around the world, her music isn't just something playing in the background, It's their living, breathing emotions. She literally became the voice for what they were feeling, and honestly, that's a very rare kind of magic.
Now, you might be wondering, where did all of this start? Well, she was born in December 1989 in Pennsylvania, and Taylor was just different from the very beginning. While other kids were out playing games, running around, just doing normal kid stuff, Taylor was already deeply immersed in a totally different reality. From her earliest days, she had this profound love for music. Instead of playing games, she was already writing songs. She had this singular, laser-like focus long before anyone even knew her name. And that passion, it fully crystallized at just 12 years old. This was the exact moment she picked up a guitar and taught herself how to play. If you look at her life story, this was her ultimate call to adventure. This wasn't just some after-school hobby. This was the moment her life's trajectory permanently shifted. That wooden instrument became the exact tool she'd use to eventually move the entire world. But a tool is really only as good as where you take it, which brings us to the Nashville dream. Taylor had a massive vision for her future, and to achieve it, she had to cross the threshold into the unknown. So she made the monumental move to Nashville, Tennessee. And as we all know, Nashville is the absolute brutal hub of country music. It's the city where thousands and thousands of aspiring singers go every single year with the exact same goal, to make it big. She was stepping into literally the most competitive arena possible. Now, what's really interesting about this part of her journey is that it wasn't a straight line to the top. Far from it. Her path was blocked by some serious hurdles. We're talking harsh rejection, intense struggle, and bitter early failures. It is so important to understand that her dream did not come easy. She faced closed doors. She fought the immense pressure of trying to stand out in a crowd of thousands. And she experienced the really tough reality of failure right out of the gate.
But she just kept pushing, right? Her persistence eventually shattered those hurdles, leading us to a phenomenal breakthrough year, 2006. This was the moment her self-titled debut album dropped. After all that rejection and those silent struggles in Nashville, 2006 marked the very first time the world truly heard her voice. Slowly but surely, people everywhere started to realize exactly who she was.
So why did she stand out in such a crowded industry? It's because her songs didn't just sound good. They resonated on a deeply, deeply personal level. Her music seamlessly transitioned from being just audio tracks into the actual personal feelings of her listeners. When people listened to her, they didn't just hear a singer. They felt understood. That is the secret to how she began building such a massive, fiercely dedicated following right from the start. Let's move forward and see how this builds, because this connection just grew exponentially across her career. Through Fearless, Red, 1989, Reputation, and Midnights, Taylor didn't just release new music, she created entirely new eras. Each era had its own, totally distinct sound, aesthetic, and emotion. This constant, brilliant evolution is how she completely rewrote music history, continually capturing the global imagination and racking up multiple Grammy Awards along the way. And all of those distinct musical chapters culminated in an absolute historic phenomenon, the Erase Tour. We have to be clear here, this was not just a concert series. No way. It was a monumental global event that literally shook the world. Millions upon millions of fans traveled from all corners of the earth just to see her perform. It became one of the most successful tours to ever exist, period. In fact, the scale of this tour was so massive and culturally significant that Disney Plus released a docuseries titled The End of an Era. This project let the entire world witness the spectacular, behind-the-scenes magic of this legendary tour, pretty much cementing its place in entertainment history forever.
Okay, before we wrap up this incredible timeline, I want to abruptly pause and ask you a pivotal question. What is Taylor's biggest strength. Really think about it. Beneath the sold-out stadiums, the Grammys, and the millions of records sold, what is the core engine actually driving all of this unprecedented success?
So the crucial point is, it's her honesty. That is her ultimate superpower. In an industry that, let's face it, often relies on manufactured images, Taylor Swift's raw, authentic vulnerability is what truly sets her apart from everyone else. She never hides her humanity. She puts it front and center for everyone to see. And how exactly does she weaponize that honesty? Well, she transforms the most difficult parts of the human experience, heartbreaks, relentless criticism, and profound pain, directly into her music. She takes the negative experiences that would frankly break a lot of people, and she uses them as fuel to create art. Because she is so honest about her own struggles, she connects with us on the deepest, most authentic human level possible. Which brings us to a much broader realization about her legacy today. Taylor Swift has completely transitioned from being just a singer to a genuine global inspiration. Her story, starting as a dreamer facing the brutal realities and rejections of Nashville, and pushing through all of that to become a global legend, serves as a blueprint for anyone out there facing overwhelming odds. She proves, without a doubt, that resilience actually works.
And that perfectly leads us to this really powerful thought. Let the magnitude of this sink in. If dreams are big, the whole world falls short. The entire world essentially becomes small compared to the size of a truly massive vision. Her journey from writing songs as a kid in Pennsylvania to absolute world domination is the living, breathing proof of that idea.
So, having unpacked the evolution of this incredible global legend, I want to leave you with one final challenge as we close out this explainer. What dream are you willing to fight for? Taylor Swift fought through rejection, channeled her pain into her work, and completely reshaped history with a guitar she picked up at 12. Now it's your turn to figure out what you're going to do with your own dreams. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.